Hello. I woke up this morning and as you can see from the mark here, the head soaring started up again very vigorously, accompanied by quite powerful Kriya with energy sort of poking into my neck and strangling me a bit. And um, really crazy stuff. And I filmed it, but it's nothing that I haven't... it's nothing you haven't seen before, so you can always just refer to old videos of head soaring and things like that. It's just yeah, the energy just picked up again after a few, I don't know, maybe a month or more of the energy mainly concentrating on my neck. It was quite fun. Started to become a bit yogic again with pulling the legs around. After that, I just sat in bed and I've never been this still before. Yeah, I just feel this kind of I feel really chilled out, but there's this intensity at the same time. Um, it feels like I'm sitting still, but I've never sat still before. This is what it feels like. It's like I've spent my whole life rather without being able to sit still. Like I've never been able to do this, and all I'm doing is just sitting. And what it feels like is like I've wanted to do this for so long, and I've just not been able to. So yeah, it feels rewarding, and it just confirms my trust in the Kundalini, that it knows what it's doing. It's getting rid of blockages. It's getting rid of impediments, things that are just in the way of chilling out, really. So I'm going to go to a cafe and have some food in a minute, but it feels just really nice to sit and do nothing. And there's no sense at all of trying to meditate or anything, really. Thoughts kind of come up and they're cool, it's like, oh, some might be more or less interesting than others. But what it feels like is that they dissolve into the presence that is. That's the feeling of it. So what it feels like almost like before, and this is very subtle. This is not like a very obvious. So don't take any. I don't really know what I'm saying. It's just a subtle difference, but it felt like before a thought would come up and it would have a gravitational pull, like Eckhart Tolle talks about. You just kind of you sink into the thought. Was now it feels more like the thoughts come up and they dissolve into, it's like they're burnt up by the presence that is already. So it's kind of like a thought comes up and it goes zzz. It's like instead of pulling you in, it just doesn't have any gravity anymore. I'm not saying it won't at some point. I'm just talking about right now. Um, but if you see presence as electricity, almost, it feels like the electricity's been turned up by a dimmer switch, and you can almost hear it. It's kind of like, and so a thought comes up in the, and it just goes, it crackles into the. So the is just the thoughts don't survive in it because it's a higher frequency, I guess. This is just a description of a guy who's just really just sitting here. Like, that's really, it's trying to explain. It's trying to explain. It's really just trying to explain relaxation that isn't compromised by being driven forwards into the next thing. Anyway, it feels good, and it just feels like I'm being pulled, regardless of what I'm trying to do or I'm trying not to do, regardless of thinking, regardless of desire, regardless of intent. I'm just being pulled into a state of stillness that is both very relaxing and very alive. And the alive is kind of what I was trying to say with the electric feeling. But I'm getting quite hungry, so I'm going to have a fry up. So I'll leave this here. And now I've got to walk around. It's going to be one of those phases the next few days when I walk around looking funny with a thing on my head. It's not too pronounced, but you see, the thing is, it doesn't matter. But I like it when it's neat, I like it when it's like, and that's what it does. Like, it's just been going over these lines, but sometimes it just does, stuff like this, and then it just makes me look like a nutcase, or someone who's it just looks like I banged my head, actually. Anyway.